Technology, Media, and Culture Assignment by Jason Favaroth Peters. This presentation is a brief look at the effects of the invention of MIDI technology on the music world and both the industrial and social aspects on popular culture today. Prior to the invention of MIDI in 1982, analog synths relied on control voltage and gate trigger system. Dave Smith is credited as the synth manufacturer responsible for sparking the MIDI protocol and the technology's first MIDI synthesizer, the Prophet 600. One musician's setup rarely reflects the exact same setup as another musician. In fact, the author of the ebook, Digital Audio Editing Fundamentals, says, "My MIDI setup includes the Yamaha TX802, which is 8 DX7 synths in one rack mount, the Roland D50 rack mount, and the Korg Z1. MIDI helped redefine pop music in the 1980s. The fact that its creator and arbitrators made this technology open source made it more attractive to and easier for more manufacturers to get on board. No expenses to adopt the technology equaled larger opportunity for profits and less risk. Thus, many musicians were and are now able to pick and choose their equipment as easily as one might choose a shirt or a pair of pants from their favorite department store. Here's a shot from one of my own projects in Pro Tools. It's a simple, constant unison chord progression as of now. MIDI allows me to quickly lay down an idea, save and close the project or program, then return to it at my leisure. These simple chords shown are the initial idea of a more complex chord progression that I'm working out. When I'm ready, I can go back and change a few notes or completely revamp the whole idea. Not everyone can afford nor has the physical space and learning environment conducive to classical piano training. However, most families have a computer in their home. In fact, 84% of U.S. households own a computer, and 73% of U.S. households have a computer with a broadband connection to the internet, with 70% of Americans having broadband access. This means that for the price of the widely available assortment of MIDI instruments, people who would not otherwise be able to learn an instrument or make music have the opportunity to do so. In this photo, we see a location that seems to be filled with musicians, all using MIDI instruments. Pictures like this show the versatility and diverseness of today's musician, as well as the portability of the technology itself. With the implementation of MIDI, musicians can play a number of instruments virtually. There are countless manufacturers that sell virtual instruments, including drums, brass instruments, strings, and many more. Historically, a person must become proficient in his or her playing of an instrument to have any chance of being famous for playing that particular instrument. With MIDI, there appeared endless opportunities to fine-tune a musical piece, giving that piece the semblance of craftsmanship rather than perfection through redundancy. In other words, MIDI introduced the chance for countless do-overs. This paved the way for anyone who wanted to be a DJ, producer, or artist to do just that. Because of Dave Smith's invention, MIDI allowed the first home studios to be born and ushered in the era of the home musician. By putting more power in the hands of the common man, along with the internet and platforms like YouTube, MIDI made fame all the more easier to attain. Whether that fame is international or just among one's peers, music and notoriety of that music's creator are all the more closer to the average layperson because of Dave Smith and his wonderful invention, MIDI. The gap between polished professionals and people simply with a natural affinity for music closed considerably. MIDI changed the music world by sparking the dance music genre, of which there is a large following today. In 2015, EDM, or electronic dance music streams were quoted as having skyrocketed, up 55% to 11.2 billion in the US alone. Without the advent of MIDI, which fostered the dance music genre, one might conjecture that that number would be drastically reduced today, if not completely non-existent. Dance music, like hip-hop or country music, has its own fans, and those fans make up their own demographic and each add their distinct contributions to popular culture today. Thank you.